honestly, like, all right. So I recently got Google certified, which was pretty handy. It actually wasn't super crazy hard, but for me, it was because I already use Google Classroom, Google Forms, Google Drive. I was very familiar with Google already because I'd been using it for a while and I've been playing with it for longer. So as far as some of those basic info, well, I already knew it. But there were some things that I did learn. 3 things that were game changers for me are what I'm going to be talking about today. All right, the first one being Google Sheets. Now, Google Sheets, if you have used it for tracking or for Google Forms, it's really, really nice to have that information there. You're able to see it all in one place. However, I had not really used it to keep track of feedback in a way where I could see it quickly and get that immediate feedback and apply it. You can also make it so it creates a bar graph or any other kind of graph to make it more visually appealing. And I'm planning on using it this fall because I like to keep track of their assessments, of how classes do on the assessments, and show it to them. And so this is really nice because I'll be able to do that in a visual, pleasing way. And also because it's really nice to be able to keep track of those things and mark the assessments and then create a bar graph out of it or whatever thing you need. It really works for me because we have a growth mindset, and so I want my students to improve each time they take an assessment, and showing that to them will help them figure out, oh, this is where I scored, this is where the class scored, this is where I should be focusing on to study or improve on for the next assessment. And that's really, really, really nice, but I have to be able to provide that feedback to them so that they know what they need to work on. Learning about that extra stuff with Google Sheets really was a game changer for me. The second thing was Google Sites. Now, a while back, I used Weebly because I hated Google Sheets. Google Sheets was ugly and it was hard to move things around, and it was, I did not like it. And I used Weebly because you could move things around, you could add pictures, you could add video, you could change the titles and stuff. I loved it. Well, turns out Google Sites improved theirs as well. And so now you're able to do all that stuff, and including adding stuff from Google Drive. So if you made that bar graph, you can put that bar graph right into the Google Sites, which is awesome. Now, I would recommend that you use Google Sites to communicate stuff to parents. So that's my plan. I'm going to have a Google Sites that's going to have my information. It's going to have some meet the teacher type of things. It's going to have our class playlist, which in my class, we do some songs in class to learn about grammar. So then I can put them into that playlist for the students to see and listen to on their own time. So that kind of stuff is all easy to incorporate into that Google Sites. And because of the multiple pages, I can have different pages. I can have extra resources available there as well. It's just a really nice place to kind of put all your links, especially now, so that parents have one place to go. And they can say, oh, okay, this is the place where I have to go for her Spanish class. And here are the links. Oh, but you know what? I have a question for the teacher. Oh, I don't remember what their email is. Or on the tab, there could be a button where they can send me an email. So that kind of stuff makes it so much easier for parents because really they have so many other things. They don't need another 5 million other links for their students, right? So one place makes it super easy. I would also recommend using Bitly to share out those kinds of links to make it easier for them to remember that link. So anyways, I was impressed by that. That was my second game changer with Google Sites. The third one, I will tell you, it's amazing, and I am will forever be thankful for this because it was with Gmail. So I learned about labels and the filters, right? I spent an hour and a half just adding labels like student email or student questions, whatever, students, staff PDs, personal PDs, the Spanish department emails. So like all these labels that I could put then are now showing up on the side and say, I'm like, oh, you know what? There was a game that one of the Spanish people sent out. I need to find it. Instead of looking in and being like, oh, I think it was called like Loteria, whatever. Then I can literally just click on that tab or that label. It'll bring up all my Spanish department stuff, and the way that I have it separated, it was like work stuff and then lessons. And so I would look in the lessons tab, and then I would have less emails there to look through. And then from there I could add the filter and say, okay, Loteria game, or maybe it's a conjugation review or whatever it is. Then I'm able to find it easier than if I had just everything in my inbox and I was like, oh, I don't know who sent it. Maybe this teacher or whatever. So it's worth it. It's 100% worth it to put in the effort and into organizing it all. Now, the second thing about this too is that it really gave me time to go through and unsubscribe from things that I was like, why am I even unsubscribed to this in my teacher account? So there were some really random things in there. So I was able to go through it and just unsubscribe of things that weren't working for me. So I was subscribed for some elementary PD thing, and I was like, wait, I don't even teach elementary, so why do I have this? So I was able to unsubscribe that, delete them, and make sure that I'm not getting any more emails from them. And of course, that also reduced my inbox number, right? I would 100% recommend that you spend some time doing that. Look up some YouTube videos about it too. Actually, maybe I can make a playlist about it, of some of those Google certification classes, lessons that really, really helped me. So it was a game changer, man. My inbox is so much happier, so much more organized and decluttered, and oh, I just love it so much. Is it at zero? No, but that's okay. I'll survive. So those were the 3 game changers, man. Let me tell you, I would 100% recommend that if you are teaching with Google Classroom this fall, please, please, please get Google certified, because it will help you out so much. The more you know about it, the less time you're gonna have to spend trying to organize links and stuff. It's just really helpful. If you're not using Google Classroom, it's still really handy to check out. There's so much stuff on there that's easily accessible for you, and it's also free. I do have a 4th thing for you to check out, is provided by Google, and it's called Science Journal. So essentially what it lets you do is it lets you do your own science experiments, because it uses your phone, the tech that already exists inside your phone, to measure light stuff, measure motion, measure sounds, and it has like a timer, and it lets you store your recordings or observations of what your science experiment is happening. It is so cool, and I 100% recommend for anyone who does any experimenting or math related measuring type of things. It's an app, so you can just download it. It's really cool. I like it. If you have a kid, maybe you could play with it too. If you're a kid, if you can do it too. Honestly, it's just cool. So those are my 3 game changers plus the 4th bonus thing. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Hasta luego.